The new virtual assistant from Wells Fargo. You can pick up the tab even when you forget your wallet.
I got this.
Fargo, send Kaz $145 to Zelle.
Smooth.
Do you, Fargo? You can with Wells Fargo.
Chances are, as you watch us this morning, you or someone you know might once again be dealing with COVID. It feels like those diagnoses are coming around once again, and none of us wants to face that fact. But happily for us, Dr. Wayne Stevens is on the show with the Wellness Tree. He is seeing it in his office, has been for a long time actually, dealing with patients with long COVID. You're seeing that. So you kind of wanted to talk about ways you can help and ways you can help boost immunity to try to ward it off. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. I think that, unfortunately, it's getting back into the season again.
Yeah.
It's popping up, this new variant, who knows what it's going to do to us. But it seems like one of the better ways to fight it is not only, doing the precautionary washing hands, wearing masks in the appropriate time, things like that, but boosting your immune system.
Well, okay, you mentioned this new variant, and neither one of us is affiliated with the CDC or anything, so we're limited in what we can totally say with accuracy.
Sure.
But that the new variant has 32 mutations, is that right?
That's what I've read. I try not to spend a lot of time reading news about that kind of thing, but it comes up, and it's interesting. This one's like one of the greater mutations, and that they say that has 32 different mutations. I think that's the greatest since Omicron. So we're not really sure how that's going to change the susceptibility or the how easily people get it, the transmissibility of it, and things like that. So, what can we do? First.
Well, let's talk about the prevention then, because that is something you believe you can do to help people, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think that in Chinese medicine it boils down to the Wei Qi, and reducing stress, so you're not having the stress affect your immune system as well too, but boosting the immune system. There are acupuncture points that basically tell your body, hey, we need to do this, maybe in this case, create more white blood cells, maybe do different things. But for a long time, the Chinese have been working with the body, with the acupuncture points, with the needles, with herbs to help boost the immune system for sure.
So you said something I've never heard before, I just don't think that way, I guess, that you can put a needle in at a certain point and you can stimulate more white blood cells? Is that right?
That would be, let's say, the biological reaction in your body from stimulating a point.
Okay, and that's because that point that you stimulate might not be open to be functioning appropriately?
Right, or maybe it just needs a little bit more attention or a little bit more energy directed to it. So okay. The body, through the energetic pathways, has a response. And that one, LI4, LI11, stomach 36 are very common points to use for this type of condition. In Chinese medicine, it might be considered a wind condition because it comes on suddenly, like the wind picks up. And so that's why they define it as a wind. Gets a little bit more where you break it down into heat, cold, damp, things like that. But all of those release wind, which can translate into boosting the immune system so that your body protects itself.
So when somebody comes to you at the Wellness Tree, because I know you can see my face and I'm trying very intently to follow you, but I don't know what you know. Right. So you're speaking a vocabulary that's foreign to me.
It's true.
So when somebody comes to you, they're not going to know this either, chances are. So do you kind of guide them through, and is knowledge part of it?
Oh yeah, again, I think that coming back here to Tennessee, there aren't very many acupuncturists per capita in Tennessee. And it was always about education. And people ask, how does acupuncture work? And to me, it's very difficult to do a one-to-one translation from Chinese medicine theory to Western medicine theory. So a lot of people ask, are you stimulating the nerves? And that might be one aspect of how acupuncture works. But there are so many. There's the gate theory is another one, but nothing so far, Western medicine hasn't been able to define acupuncture in its whole encompass, to define it in those terms. So you try to break it down into smaller terms to at least help to explain a certain aspect of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we were having a conversation in studio, and somebody that we know has somebody that this person knows who's dealing with COVID.
Yes.
And the first question you asked was, what are that person's symptoms?
Yes.
So when somebody comes to you, if it is a COVID situation, maybe they've had it and they've recovered, but they're still dealing with some issues, right?
Yes.
You're not looking at it as addressing simply COVID, you're addressing the individual symptoms. So what the approach for one person might be different from another.
Exactly. I think that the person that we were talking about had a lot of fatigue. And so, I think that leads me to the spleen organ, and what we can do that boosts the energy in the body. So each person's individualized, right? So the virus is coming in to us, but it's making our bodies reacting in its own way, and it's creating a change. So it doesn't really matter what virus it is. What's going to change it is, again, releasing the wind, but also how is that affecting you? Like some people have headaches, some people have nausea, some people have fatigue. One person's had renal failure. And so what are the symptoms and what can we do with that? We're still treating like the root, which is the virus, to help your body fight off that virus, but how is it also going through its chain of reactions, and how is it coming up with these symptoms?
I think you told me that most people feel a difference day one.
Oh yeah, with the acupuncture for sure. Yeah, we were treating a lady with chronic sciatic, and she was asking like, will I be able to feel a difference? Most people feel a difference in the 30 minutes that it takes for the needles to, let's say, cook is what we call it, but get off the table and they feel a change. She felt a change, another lady came in with a COPD, having hard times breathing, especially with all this humidity that we're having that's affecting a lot of people. She felt a change as soon as she got up off the table. She was able to breathe better. It can be very quick and that quick.
Well, here's how I can quickly show you his contact information. It's Wayne Stevens at the Wellness Tree down on Dayton Boulevard. 877-3770 is the phone number. Online, ChattanoogaWellnessTree.com. Can you make an appointment online?
Yes, ma'am, through the Wellness Tree Jane app, or you can go to our website. There should be a link there.
He makes it easy. Thanks.
Thank you.